Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 103.
Wow,
103. Cool. How are things with you?
Good. Went to the mall to buy my daughter a few more earrings because we had a coupon. And
Coupon or coupon?
Either. I say both.
Both of them save you money.
Yeah. And then ran into Aaron, Evil CB.
Cool.
So that was fun. And
Are there a lot of people there buying costumey stuff?
no, not that I could tell. It was slow. The Wednesday night at the mall. Although traffic coming home was surprisingly brisk. Like a lot of traffic.
Let's go to the mall today. when should we go to the mall? Today. I can't. I don't know what I'm gonna do when that show's over.
I don't know.
Curl up in a ball and cry.
Matt and I were wondering, is it gonna be at that inn the entire season? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
The whole season's gonna be at that bed and breakfast.
I think so. And it's really, I don't think you're gonna get to see them date. Like, I think they'll meet and then that'll be the end.
Huh. Well, as long as they continue to do like they did in the first part of the season, where they showed them together.
Yeah, like
a flash forward.
Flash forward, yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I think that as long as they do that a few more times, I'll be happy.
Mhm.
Because you need to like her and get a sense of who they are together in wrapping up that.
Yeah, I guess it can't really be called How I Met Your Mother either. Like, if you don't see them really meet. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
anyway.
I mean, we should see them meet, right? But I liked that there was that one where they fast forwarded and
saw them having fun together and being a happy couple. And,
exactly.
I like it.
And already had their little, like, back and forth on, like,
Playfulness.
yes. We've been together for a very long time and we know each other so well. So, yeah.
Done anything exciting lately? Like go to a river town and hang out with some knitters?
Yes, I did.
How did I know? Did you happen to balance 3 balls on your head?
I did. They were cakes, technically.
Yeah, but they're pretty
We looked at the price tag afterward. I had a lot of money on my
She balanced $300 worth of yarn on her head, yo.
Did not realize it was that expensive.
Yes. And then people were asking about yardage, and there wasn't yardage on it.
No,
I can only guess. Yeah.
I think it was part of one of their like kits. So you bought that, and then it came with the pattern, and you had enough yarn to do the pattern, but it didn't tell you the yardage.
Yeah. We had a really great time in Stillwater.
We did.
Darn It Anyway, as always, was wonderful host to our day activities, and then we went back to Crossing Stillwater and shopped Jeanette's. She brought a lot of stuff.
She did.
I was uber pleased.
Yeah.
As you will see in enabling. That's a foreshadowing to
the
enabling section.
I should have looked a little bit more on the MCS's.
That's what I got, and then you got the BFL, which is the one that I couldn't make my decision on. So we're a good complement.
Yes,
but yes, we had a lot of fun. We ate at the Pirate Barbecue, and we had cake, tiramisu cake.
Yes,
it was very tasty, and got a lot of knitting done, and a lot of laughing done, and a lot of catching up done, and it was fun.
It was very fun.
So thank you, wonderful ladies that joined us, and hopefully we continue to do those and continue to have a great contingent of knitters.
Yeah, it grew a little bit.
Yeah.
From last time. If we grow too much more, we won't have room.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to plan in advance and warn people and book spaces and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then that would be more work.
Yeah. We got an official title. It was the Zombie Runaway.
Yes, Runaway.
Which was the hashtag that we were using.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we could talk more about it when we get to the actual
enabling.
Enabling. But just wanted to thank everybody because there were some folks from Indianapolis, from the inside of Wisconsin, so it wasn't exactly a short jaunt for them. And we really appreciated people coming out and celebrating with us. We had a grand old time.
We did.
I came back rejuvenated. It was a good getaway / runaway.
Yeah, I felt pretty good too.
Cool. Yeah.
Rested.
Yeah, that was good. I got lots of rest. I didn't get to say goodbye to some people on Sunday morning because I slept in.
She did.
But we did stay up late, so to my defense. We have 2 really fun giveaways currently going on. We have the meme birthday kit giveaway, which is hysterical, and I think I will be saving anytime I have a bad day. I think I'm going to go out and look at silly pictures and words of myself.
Yeah.
in that thread, like bookmark it for future reference.
Yeah, there's a few more of me out there, but they're all facial expressions.
Yes.
I'm not crazy wild with what I'm doing, so.
I think Amy just threw down the gauntlet that people need to find funny pictures. I really want the one where she's like doing the gun show.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what episode that is.
No. I might have to go back and look for it just because you play such a good straight man to my goofy faces.
There's a few that people found that, I forget what, there was a recent one that was really, like, my face looks pretty, it was about your kids having naked time, and my face is like really shocked. Yeah. That's really cute.
But yeah, if you don't feel like making a meme, just go out and laugh and vote. And yeah, it makes me smile. I thank you so much to those who have posted. It's entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
The second giveaway, we have the Fish Belly Fibers, the 3-month club, accessories club, and I was remiss last week in mentioning that if you were interested in purchasing, if you win, you get a refund. Okay. So don't hold off for the giveaway next week. Just if you really want the kit. So you'll probably be watching it tomorrow, the 31st, so happy Halloween.
Yay!
Yes, we carved pumpkins tonight, and it smells very pumpkin-y in here because they're sitting in our front window. We put them on our stoop one year, and then they ended up smushed in the street. And there's nothing more depressing than cleaning up smushed pumpkin out of the street in front of your house when it's your pumpkin. But anyway, the 31st is the last day that you can get in on that while supplies last. I think there was 25 available. So go out and get one if you are interested. And that's a very generous giveaway. And it was your favorite person to knit for, which that is another thread that I'm enjoying because it's like everybody who says, well, I'm my favorite person. I'm like, yeah, you go girl, because I'm my favorite person too. I feel less selfish when surrounded by other selfish people, just relatively speaking.
Yeah. I get that. If I had to pick somebody besides myself, it's really strange. It's like, I really enjoy knitting for my immediate family. I do. But outside of them and myself, because I consider all the things that I knit for them just kind of like knitting for myself, is my stepdad. He's the one who appreciates them the most. Yeah. He really is.
I think just in general, I could knit socks for humanity, like anybody. Even if the person, it wouldn't, like, maybe just to turn them on to the fact that, like, hey, these are really nice. Wow, these are much different than...
I will say a shout out to my friend Sarah McMahon, because she is the person who told me that you gotta get some hand knit socks. She doesn't like to knit socks at all.
She was the one who explained to me why you do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't get it. Why do people knit 2 at a time? And she was like, because I would have a bunch of orphan socks. That would be all I have.
Yeah, so her mom was the one who knit her first pair, but it's her only pair because her mom doesn't knit her that
You
many
knit her
socks.
those TARDIS ones. Come
I did, but I'm just saying that she was the first person to tell me that they're totally worth the effort, and that they are awesome.
Yeah,
because her mom knit her some.
I like knitting for my mom, and it's kind of a selfish reason because she, like you said, she really enjoys them, enjoys what I knit her, and then she also, I just see in my mind's eye her walking around and being like, see this sweater? It's really nice. My daughter knit it for me. It's like a trophy that she walks around and brags about me with.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. Like,
it's cute.
Yeah. She's done it at like Joann's and.
We have a surrogate mom who does that for us as well.
Yeah.
I have somebody in my head. You know who you are. It's like, oh, Megan here. She designs patterns. She designed this one.
Yes, a good mama bear.
Yes,
very good mama bear. So yeah, that is all. Oh no, we have the mini KL that's wrapping up.
Yes, tomorrow. Well, today. So. Yeah, it's already done.
Yeah, mind warp into if you're watching this 8 o'clock on Halloween night while people are whatever, you've got 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then we have the Sun Valley Fibers KL that's been going on the last 2 months, and that is wrapping up also this evening at midnight, the 31st at midnight. Not this evening as in this evening, but you know what I meant. End of October. And then we've also got the self-striping. So get your self-striping entries in. I know that Operation Sock Drawer is going on.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people are getting on the gun to have a really cool sock drawer full of socks. And you can double dip. Use us too. Double dip.
Yeah, mine is adequate. It's not like where I have to like stuff them. But I have a small drawer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a small drawer in the middle of my dresser. So it's not like the big long ones, or it's also not the sock drawer, which is like skinny and long. No, it's just one of those little squat ones, and they're comfortably lined, 2 rows of them. But there needs to be more in there for sure. So
mine has a lot of self-stripies. I have very few other than the variegated ones that I have designed in my sock drawer. Lots of self-stripers.
I was looking through them and I think I've only knit half of them.
Lots of swaps and
yeah, lots of people knitting for me.
Swaps and knitterly love.
Yeah.
All right, I am done with the chitty chat.
Yep.
Administrati has been administered, and we shall move on. Do you have any FOs, my lady?
I have some, but they're all small.
They still count.
Yes, they do. Sorry, my throat is a little.
Would you like me to put a little ticking and asterisk next to them on the show notes that say these are small? These are small FOs. Amy's small.
I can't remember which one I showed you last time, but the second one of the 2 is done. So I finished one of these last time, and now I have another one.
I think somebody commented that the orange one matched my sweatshirt last week.
Okay.
Oh, but you've got, you have another orange one over there as well.
Yeah, that's a whip.
Oh.
So it must have been the orange one finished, and then the blue
one was on the needles.
It was on the needles. So I got this one done.
1 a week. That's pretty.
And I am, how many do I have done now? I just counted.
I think last week you had 9?
I think it's
7?
I think it's 15 now.
Oh, okay, that's wrong.
No,
me and
that
numbers
doesn't
week to week.
sound right either. 1, 3. You don't want me to count on air? Okay.
The accounting firm of.
I did update my
Pendergast
projects page. So if you look at my Vivid Projects page, I have which colors have how many, and I just have to add that, and I'll have the total. I just have it in my head. And then I got another woven square.
I saw you teaching somebody how to do that this past week.
Yes, and so this is fun. I really liked teaching them, so I was like, went home and made sure I did another one. And so now I'm just going through all of my yarn looking for my next one to throw onto the square. But yeah, these are just, yeah, I hope to eventually end up doing something with them. Right now I just create them and put them in a pile, and it feels really silly. But and this is my gourmet stash. It's my first gourmet stash completed yarn, and this was 1 ounce of ponies turned into 90-ish yards of yarn.
Is that a single ply?
And it's 2-ply.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of sparkle, and I'm really enjoying the finished product. What I will say is that when I was plying this on the spindle from the turtles, the last little tiniest bit, I would say like 5 yards, so maybe even more. I didn't count it because it became a tangled ball of mess, and I couldn't salvage it, so I broke it and just went, this is how much yardage I have. And it made me really sad because there was a lot of work in those little bits, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I have to think of a better way to do this. I don't know if there's a mechanism, because just taking them off of the bobbins is magic, and doing them on the turtle is, I don't know, didn't work out so good. So I don't know if I need to stick a pen through them and and put them in a place where
turn like a top.
Yeah, so they can pull just like a bobbin would. Maybe that's what I'll try with the next set. As soon as I take out the center of the spindle, putting in a dowel or something.
It could be said that you were being a spindler. and also very witty, that could be called Robin Sparkle. It's very Robin Eggs blue, and it's got sparkle.
Yeah, it's
Robin Sparkle.
Yeah, I see the blue, and to me it goes to purple. So
I bet Robin Sparkles would like that.
She would. While she's going to the mall.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really great. I don't know what I'm going to do with 90 yards of it, but I do have a dark purple. So this was blended with white, and I have a one that's blended with black. And I will spin that one up, and then I will have 2 that coordinate. And so it'll be like 180 yards-ish of light fingering weight to do something with. Don't know what. But it'll be nice to try to do something with it. And that's it for FOs.
Alright, I turned my 1 whip into 1 FO.
Good for you.
Yes. So, I wrapped up the 1 sock, and I cast on the way up to Stillwater, and worked and got sick of working, and Beth and I swapped socks and worked on her
really?
for a while. And yeah, somewhere here, and before I turned the toe, there's some Beth knitting in here. But don't tell my husband. He just feels indebted to me, not to Beth. And yep, turned the heel and finished it up Sunday after we got back, and put them immediately on my husband's feet. I did not feel weird taking them off of my husband's feet and saying these are going into my FO pile to talk about on Tuesday night. And this is again Miracle Jen in her BFL base, which is my husband's favorite socks that I have knit for him. And I just kind of made up this welted ribbed pattern so it stretches this way and this way. I did the extra rose OMG heel, and yeah, I still had a ball left over. It's a very generous skein. It's like 469 yards, I believe. Closer to a light fingering, definitely not like a Socks That Rock heavy fingering, the Miracle Jen BFL. And this was the Earl Grey colorway, and yeah, as I put on the social medias, comically large man socks are comically large. They're big. They're like a sleeve.
Yep.
I could have knit a sleeve. 2 sleeves. Fingering weight sleeves.
And tightly knit fingering weight sleeves. I don't think I would have knit at that gauge for a sweater.
They're gonna last him forever and ever.
They should. They better.
Amen.
They better.
Forever and ever even. And that is my 1FO.
Cool. I know you were working on those a long time.
I did. I got some fatigue. I got some I don't want to knit on these. I think at one point I was like, I'm never knitting socks again. I made like an opera song about it this past weekend.
Yeah.
And here I am, knitting a sock again.
What can you do?
Yep.
So, I am making another square.
Imagine that.
And I enjoy casting on the lace portion of this right as soon as I'm done casting it off. And then the lace is very addicting, and then I get the first row of garter, and then I sit here going, okay, well, on to the next thing, until I get into a social situation where I need semi-mindless knitting. So there's that. There's one whip. Right, that's in my knitting's my bag. And then in my mom's bag is my socks for my son. And I wanted to show you that I used my fish lips kiss heel pattern to make a template. So she tells you how to draw around them, and you can slip them in, and then as you're working on them, and once you've slipped them in, you can go knit to the line and then start your heel.
So you're almost there.
So I'm almost there, and I don't have to keep saying, dearest son, stop what you're doing and try on socks. It's the thing he hates most about me knitting socks for him. My daughter's more obliging when I ask her that, but after a while they get sick of it. So I've been using this, and that's really handy. I made, out of one cereal box, I made everybody in the family do it for me. And I might go ahead and grab, later, like maybe at Christmas time, I might ask quite a few people to do it for me.
Yeah, the adult feet should change a little bit less.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be making these again for the kids, but I couldn't believe how big my kid's foot is getting. It's almost the same size as my feet now.
You made that foot.
I know I did make that foot.
Literally, and the real one, and that cut out.
So that was that, and so that's really fun, and I did then make the heel on a different pair. So this is my socks for Tanya's mom, and she requested a crew length, so they're just shorties, and this is what crew length meant to me and my husband. I just said, this looks like crew length, and then we brought out a crew sock and went, yeah, that's crew length, and so this is crew length as far as we know it. Tanya, if there happens to be a problem with this length, let me know. It's gonna be plenty of yarn left over.
Yep.
But yeah, the crew sock one is done, and then the heel was the fish lips kiss.
And we know Patty.
Yes, we do. I've known Patty, let's say at least 6 years.
She was at the knit night that you introduced me to knitting, so.
Yeah. So it's at least 6 years.
I have literally known her my whole knitting career.
This is true.
Day one, Patty in attendance.
So, yeah, Patty is local to us here in Rochester.
Not that we're name dropping or anything.
Yeah. Sounds like it, doesn't it?
It does, but we're proud of her. So.
Yes, we're very happy for her. She's done really well. She's quite successful. And every time I talk to her, she gives me the latest number of downloads.
Yeah, which is exciting.
It is exciting. And then I started the very next sock.
Topic.
So I'm actually beyond the toe by a little bit, and I'm excited about that. This will probably be primarily bus knitting, because they're going so speedy. The I can get going on really good in the bus, and they've been going so fast. I think this has just been this week that I've seen this progress.
I tell you, socks that you're knitting for somebody else go fast.
That's true, they do. They go faster.
Seems to be
my Breaking Zombie Hearts or whatever have been on the needles for over a year, and that's my sock. It lost interest. I don't know why. They're beautiful socks. And then, yeah, that's it, except for I started the second sleeve on my Pont Neuf. And, yeah, second sleeve. Once that's done, I get to do the front panel, and I'll just be like home free, because the front panel will be fun, and then the edging will be quick, and we'll be done. Sewing on buttons, I guess. So all the banding will be the slog to the end, not the sleeves. It'll be just banding the whole thing.
That'd be a nice change of pace.
It will. That'll be. And there's several bands, right? So you can just do one. Success. And do another one. Yay, almost there.
I do like the milestones.
I'm holding this like it's my woobie.
It is.
It's my blankie.
So soft.
Blankie. It is very soft. One of these days, I should just make myself a cashmere blankie. Right?
Well, let's get the uber bright, vivid one done.
Yes, let's get one blanket done before we start another one.
That might be prudent.
Yes. So yeah, it's trucking along. I would really like to get more of this done though. But yeah, it's my TV knitting. Haven't been watching too much TV lately.
Is that pause so that I can start talking about my WIPs?
Oh, yes, you are done. Or I am done. Blah, blah, blah.
You are done. I am currently knitting I'm going to do a toe-up version and I'm taking the pattern of the Skip Rib Socks by Adrienne Koo, Mushroom Knits. And this is Vesper in the Hellfire colorway. I have done some negative knitting since I finished up my one WIP. These socks I was going to originally do there for Julia, who was the winner of one of our birthday kit winners. So she picked out this self-striping from my stash, and I was going to be doing the Farmer McGregor, but the black didn't do very well. It ate the cables. So there's a lot of cabling in the Farmer McGregors, which is from the Socktopus books. And also it's a very light fingering, and so it just wasn't popping at the gauge that I was knitting it at. It was all getting lost. So I contacted her and she said skipped rib was fine.
I love the change.
But I ripped it all out before we started recording. And I'm now doing it on zeros because again it's the a light fingering, and it seemed really large. The stitch count was like 62 per needle, and it was big on my foot, big on Amy's foot, and her foot is somewhere in between. Yeah. Not to reveal too much personal things about Miss Julia, but
her foot size is between our two foot sizes, so
she's so in the middle. And it still is big on Amy, so I was like, well, I could go down a stitch count, or I can tighten up the gauge a little bit.
We had decided that the gauge was a little loosey-goosey for socks as well.
And if there's one thing that I've learned, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, it's still going to be the same number of stitches, and it's going to fit tighter, and it's going to wear better. So,
yep.
And I had literally, well, you could see from the ball, I didn't have, that much.
No.
A couple stripes, maybe 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I'm going to do, every time the color changes, I'm going to change which column is doing the skip with. So,
okay.
And I believe when I talked to Miss Adrian, she said it is skip, not Skype.
Yes, that's right. Because she hadn't thought of Skype.
Yep.
When she did it.
It's
so.
because the pattern is literally slip one, knit one, yarn over. So S is for slip, K is for knit, Y is for yarn over, and P is for pass slip stitch over.
Yep.
And then I'm stalling.
Why?
Because I've got another whip. Yo, I'm no
Two
longer
whips?
monogamous.
Whoa.
I know, right? And this one is pseudo addicting. It is also stripes, and it is the Turnstone pullover by
somebody said I should knit this out of the yarn that I bought, and then Megan went ahead and just started hers.
I did. Well, okay, so I was doing unselfish knitting. I had my Woo Boo, and it's Thraven, which is left over from my traveling sweater. Mm-hmm. And then I have this Knit Picks Galileo. Both of them are, I think it's a good match. They're both sport. They've both got bamboo. So this is wool and bamboo, and I can't remember if it's 50-50 on the Woo Boo.
I don't remember either.
But this is 50-50. And this is Thraven colorway. This is the Luminous colorway. I thought it was really, because the Thraven has like little hints of blue on the gray. Yep. It was really well matched. And Amy Carnegie, I think it's Carnegie, or is it Carnegie? Anyway, she has a little Stitches hoodie, and I was going to make it for my kids, and I thought it was going to be all super, I'm going to do this different. And so it calls for a mane and then a highly variegated a contrast, and then a highly variegated because it's linen stitch throughout the body. And I thought I would stripe them, and it would look cool because I found linen stitch with stripes out on the internet, and it just didn't materialize like I wanted it to. So I'm still going to do that. I just have to find a highly variegated, and these are sport, and the pattern calls for DK, and I was knitting on the same needles. Anyway, I did about 3 inches of a kid size ribbing for the band out of this, and then ended up ripping it out, which was again my negative knitting. But I'm using my my needles that I got from eBay. That people say look very similar to not the Chaigu lace, but the Chaigu regulars. I guess they look very similar. These are 8s. And the Turnstone, if you're not familiar with it, is a really cool pattern. Like, it blows my mind. It's like one of those Martina Bem moments where you're like, well, why didn't I think of that? Because it has some really cool design elements. I'm going to try to find a picture where I can show you the really cool design elements. The back has the stripes going horizontal, which I'm okay with there being horizontal stripes in the back. And then the front has V's, so you don't have big horizontal stripes across your front. And then flanking all of that is, I don't know, I'll try to hold it up without giving away too much of the pattern. Flanking all of that is some vertical stripes instead of the horizontal. And so it's really, I think it's going to be a nice look, right? Like sometimes I put on my,
this is an eye test, even without it being held up to a camera.
Well, I always two up. And I'm going to try to do the sleeves without being so domain by making the armpits a little higher. I found another project out there that had it like that. But anyway, super addicting. I got the back piece done, which suspend disbelief that this is there's gonna be flanking on the side.
Yeah, just a center panel.
This is center panel. There's gonna be flanking on the side. And the really cool thing about making the flanking stripes is if it doesn't seem wide enough, you can just do more flanking stripes, right? Which is pretty cool. So this is the back piece. And then this is the center V piece. So I really like the color combo. I'm looking forward to joining and picking up a side and working it. Super fun construction. I love that Alexis Winslow. She also did the Delancey, which was again some super fun
constructions.
And stripes, which just slays me. I love both because there was no boring stockinette really in these pieces because this was like a day's worth of work and this was a day's worth of work, and it was doing interesting things. It wasn't just like a bajillion rows of stockinette. No zombification occurred. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm also planning on doing Nanny Squimo, National Knit a Sweater in a Month.
Oh,
for November. Yeah. And
I should get on the ball then if I wanted to do Nanny Swimo.
Mm-hmm. You can do it. I bought some yarn for my husband, and I'm thinking about knitting a flax for him.
Ooh, does a vest count?
Has to be 50,000 stitches because it's based off of knit a or write a novel in a month, and that has to be 50,000 words.
Hmm.
So you can do the math. If it's a big enough vest,
Okay.
50,000 would work.
It's for a dude.
Yeah.
40 inches around.
Dude. You have to calculate your gauge for your number of rows and how many stitches per row. You could do it. I could help you. I love the maths. So yeah, I'm hopeful that I can get that to at least the sleeves before I start working on my Nanny Swimo. I just love saying that.
It's fun.
Nanny Swimo. And that is my works in progress. I have 2 now. I'm no longer monogamous, but the sock is nice to take along when you're doing stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the sweater is nice for sitting at home knitting.
Yep.
2 every time there is a knitting project. Knit. Did you want to dive right into purchases?
Sure.
Enabling. I kind of fell off the yarn bus, yo. I've got piles of stuff to show you. I still have my 716. The fiber company sent me a cool like thank you for participating in our contest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right? People are sending me yarn that I asked them to pick out for me. And then I bought yarn this past weekend because I don't know. You have to be a pretty strong person to look at Sun Valley Fiber yarn in person and not get it. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Rhinebeck stance. If you want to judge, you might as well just turn off now because there's going to be a lot to judge here.
So I don't know what it is about me and darn it anyway. And
always pick out
and buy a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
But
and color work. You always pick out color work.
Yeah, true, which I haven't done yet. In any of them. But this is Sincere Sheep, made by hand in Napa Valley. This Rambouillet came from a farm in Wyoming. So it's all U.S. Sheep and milling. So, I mean, at least that's what I'm believing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Cumulus.
In the white, gray.
And then we have
something's regret.
Yeah,
Dionysus regret.
That one. And then
what
this one.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and deepest desire.
Ooh, that is what she said.
So, I mean, a lot of people are knitting a hero lately, but I like the concept of having the color work here then mirrored on the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might do something like that. It may or may not be mirrored on the waistband as well, but the end.
Depending on how much you have left, right?
Right. But I think up here and on the sleeves would be fun.
Pretty.
And I gotta figure out what to do. I was thinking yoke, but then I was starting to research different patterns, and I got another idea. But I don't know whether I want to use this yarn
for that
idea, or my Sun Valley Fibers. I got her new Superwash BFL DK weight, and I got green and gray. So we have smoke signals and woodside gold.
So beautiful together. I love them both separately, and I love them both together.
My justification was that I was in a fancy clothing store in downtown Rochester, and I saw a t-shirt with this striping. The t-shirt, kid you not, was $78.
The t-shirt itself?
T-shirt.
Out of cotton.
Cotton. T-shirt. Now, it was a V-neck t-shirt And it was long sleeve, but still, t-shirt. And a thin one, right? Like a tissue t-shirt. Wasn't even gonna, like, it'd have to be, like, delicate and whatever. Anyway, $78.
Tank top underneath it?
Yeah, that too. Same colors. Beautiful, beautiful color combination. Fell in love with it, so I'm so happy that I have it in yarn.
And Jeanette had a very beautiful cardigan out of that BFL base, and it rocked. It was a champion garment. Nice. It looked like she was going to have that for years and years and years, and it was still soft.
So then, last purchase at Darn It Anyway, or on our retreat, was this American brand, and this is another Rambouillet. So I must have been on a kick that anything not merino. It's a very sturdy feeling, and it's got nylon in it, and I think it'll be very nice. And there's a lot. I just ordered a, is it Claire Ellen? Claire Ellen book. It's an ebook. It's more like a club, actually, because she's going to be releasing them at one a month. And the first 2 are already out, and there's really cool socks, but the idea is you knit along with everybody else, and the really cool socks that I would want to make out of this are October ones. So I want to wait and see what the November ones are. Maybe this will fit the bill. But I think that her things work really well with something that's either solid or semi-solid in most cases. Lots of cable and interest. And if not, I do have one of her patterns, the Gimli socks, that totally this is perfect for. So, no worries. That will get used for a Claire Elaine design.
Amy said no to merino.
I did. It was BFL or Rambouillet. No. Except for this D-stash. So somebody was destashing, Beth was destashing a really lovely String Theory 100% superwash merino in the ultraviolet Catastrophe. And it's a self-striper, and it's pretty, and the price was super generous.
Yeah.
So
she just wanted it to go to a good home.
Yes. Plus, small amounts of money, but it wasn't free. But bam, it had to come home.
It did, and if you didn't get it, it was coming home with me.
This is true. She said, "Are you gonna buy that?" And then, if the apocalypse comes, beep me. Had to be rescued from the 716 Knit shop.
I think you showed that last week.
Oh, did I? Well, if I just gotta show it again. She had a sale.
Yes, she did.
And I love it.
Her stuff that I got has been bumped because I have so much stuff. So I will be showing you mine 2 weeks after I get it.
And one more enabling purchase. I bought some more jewel buttons, the little ones. So Megan had brought back for me from Stitches a closure that actually it's more like a shawl closure, sweater closure. It has 2 pieces that connect, so you can connect one side to the other without them actually having to overlap. These are more like buttons, so then they would overlap and go in. I had to buy 2 black and 2 brown, and I figure if for some reason I find that I'm not using them, they would make amazing swap package goodies, right? Yep. So, just having one of them to close a shawl or sweater is quite handy. So
I got one as well. It is on the garment that I was wearing. I picked it out at the beginning of the day to close up my, where I was holding it on my Austin hoodie. And then, as I told everybody that would listen, remind me that I need to pay for this. Amy, remind me I need to pay for this. Lynn, remind me I need to pay for this. And then I tried to walk out without paying for it.
She checked out, and then I was standing at the counter, and I said, Megan, did you pay for your button?
And I said, no. So then I got it. But yeah, it was, I kind of like pseudo blocked out that folded hem on it still flipped out a little bit, but on
Right.
in the hotel room with a washcloth and sitting on the chair next to the furnace / fan.
Mhm.
All right, I've got lots of stuff, so I should quit telling stories. In the Brown Dog Bags update on Friday, contacted her and said, "Hey, can you bring that on Saturday?" So Renee brought it. These are very much my colors, and as you will see in the with my other yarn, the gray goes very well with the yarn I picked out from my husband's sweater.
Mhm.
And fun, and it's got a really cool interior, and yeah, it also fits really well on a head.
Completely.
Now,
Goodbye.
yes, it's a very nice size.
Mhm.
That's what she said. I really like the leaves. It's got the green. Love it, Renee. It's really well made. I know a lot of people have gotten bags through the Fuji.
Mhm.
The Fuji kits, but I like it a great deal, and I plan on my Nanny Sweemo sweater being in it.
Mm.
So it's my Nanny Sweemo bag. I don't know, something about those Art Deco leaves just slays me.
I love them.
I do.
They're very cute.
I love them.
Something about me wants to wash this bag and see how it.
Washes up.
Yeah, see if it softens.
Hmm.
But that's your bag, not my bag.
My bag, baby. And it's got a nice little handle and these little side, what would you call these?
I don't know.
Pulling it closed so you can zip it.
Yeah.
These would be the love handles.
There you
Calling
go.
these love handles.
Yeah.
Tia. My bag has love handles, yo.
And you could also like clip a carabiner to it so that you could like clip it to like a stroller
That's
or
true.
a bike. Or
Yes. And I turned my birthday bag inside out as we're talking about bags. Was rocking that all weekend. I noticed it in a bunch of pictures. It was like, boy, that's bright. Oh, wait, that's my bag. My friend Leslie went to Rhinebeck, and she knew that I was like, man, my husband's in Vietnam. I want to be in Rhinebeck. So she picked this up. Screams my name. I really wanted to get some Jill Draper Mix stuff. That's jilldraper.com, and she's got an Etsy shop because she's 100% American grown and spun, and she dyes it, obviously, in America. And this is the Wyndham base in the bottle colorway. So this came all the way from Rhinebeck to me, and it just screams my name. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. I might just be like, I was kind of at Rhinebeck. This is my piece of Rhinebeck.
Oh, speaking of kind of being at Rhinebeck, my lefty shawl was at Rhinebeck.
Oh, how fun!
Yay!
You sent something, I got something.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was fun.
your mom's bags. People
Yes,
were
I
spotting
saw.
those, and the birthday kit bags. And
Yeah.
people said, so that's fun.
Yeah.
We were kind of vicariously there.
Yes,
There were
this is
knitwear
true.
and bags and people picking out wonderful. So yes, thank you very much, Leslie. This was, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so squishy and soft, and I've wanted to try one of her bases for so long. My little piece of Rhinebeck plate here. And then my little piece of Stillwater, or big piece of Stillwater.
Oh my
I asked Jeanette to bring some of her MCS, which she calls the silk, because I think it's one of her only bases that has silk in it.
Mhm.
I think she's got a merino silk. I take that back. That's a little, just the two. Maybe she doesn't. But this is 75% merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk with an exclamation point. Woman after my own heart. Maybe that's why she calls it silk. And it's in the forest colorway. And I think for what it is, it's the base. It's really well priced at $28 a skein. And I'm going to make
Good
something.
yardage.
Yes, 400 yards per skein. So I'm going to make something beautiful, some sort of garment. Another sweater quantity has entered my life, but it's merino cashmere silk. It's Sun Valley, and I only have one other Sun Valley sweater quantity currently because I knit mine up, dude.
Yeah.
I knit it up, dude.
I'm currently finishing my one,
My-
but
My current goal is to not have as many enter in as are leaving out, but I think a 1-for-1 basis on Sun Valley is warranted.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's good stuff. And Jeanette's a fab face. Fabulous! So that's beautiful. And then last, I kind of, at Darn It Anyway, was shopping. I was shopping for something for my husband. And I went a little overboard on the yardage, but people were kind of like, your husband has really long arms and he's really tall and guys don't like you can't do your short sleeves. Like, he's not going to wear a layering a long sleeve top underneath his sweater. And I'm like, you're right. So I got Dream in color. The Classy base, which is their worsted weight. Heard good things. 250 yards of skein, which is good put up. And I got 6 skeins.
I made my husband's in Romeo Blue.
How many skeins did you use? Do you remember? You did? You 6. So.
Well, no, I probably used 5. I bought 6.
Okay. I'm like, my hubby's got longer arms than you. So this is going to be interesting for Nanny Swimo, because I'm pretty darn sure that this is going to be way more than 50,000 stitches.
Yeah, I think I had 1 whole skein and then some, like a significant ball left over for his sweater. So
some of them have a little bit of black, so obviously I will be alternating. Yeah. We had some discussions about this past weekend. People are like, should I? And I'm like, if in doubt, always at least do at the end of the skeins. Yeah. Start alternating, but with this, there's some of them that have some pretty dark black sections in the gray tabby colorway here, and then there's others that are primarily just solid gray, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably try to match them and always alternate, probably. And then I was going to use the free pattern that was just recently released. I think it was, I printed it on Friday, which was when it was released. The Flax, which is the Tin Can Knits Simple series that's free. Really great introduction to a top-down sweater. I'm hoping that once I knit it and vet it, this can be my, like, if you're a first-time sweater knitter, you should knit the Flax. It's just got a very simple garter detail down the sleeve. And you could mix it up and do a garter like the cobblestone just on the top, and then go to stockinette.
Yeah, we have some serious Tin Can Knits love going on here.
I love me some Tin Can Knits, and I hope they sell a bajillion patterns because they do this for free.
Yeah, isn't that nice? They do
super nice.
Those great basic patterns for free.
Yep. And I want to knit a red. I've kind of got an inkling, it's ruminating in me to knit the red cedar out of that Cascadia. Like I'm like, I should knit that. I think I have the perfect stash for it. But yeah, kind of fell off the yarn bus, dude.
Yeah, seriously. The thing that has been ruminating in my brain is the old sweaters quantities are like the older ones, older stash is like calling out, why don't you love me anymore?
Yeah.
Why don't you love? And I love them just fine. So yeah,
I need you to knit me.
They're very sad and they want my attention. But there's all these like lovely stripes and color works that have come into my life recently, and I'm like, well, I also want to play with not design necessarily, but taking a basic sweater pattern and then doing up my color the way I want it to be.
Variations on a theme.
Yeah. So I'm just very excited to work with the colors that I got, and the yarn I picked out is lovely and wonderful. But this older yarn's going, come on, there's got to be something in your stash that you've been sitting on for years that you want to knit on. But it has been decided that unless my vest, if my vest qualifies for Nanny Swimo, that's totally my November knit for sure. But if it doesn't, then I might be dipping and finding another Nanny Swimo project.
I'm excited to cast on your hat on Friday too. Woohoo! I will have 3 projects on the needles. Woot woot. So yeah, we've got that upcoming KAL that I'm excited about because I've got a lot of DK skeins that I've recently acquired so that I can knit those accessories.
Find somebody in my life who needs a cowl because I could knit your pattern, but I don't need cows.
Mm.
I need somebody in my life who needs a cow.
Internets, do you hear that?
Oh, no, no, no. While I would love to knit somebody out there, I wouldn't know how to be fair and pick.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like my mom, my grandma, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Somebody out there's got to need a cow.
Mm-hmm. I definitely don't need one. I've got 2 of them already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We have blathered on. We had a lot to talk about, and then we had a little mini jam session about How I Met Your Mother. So.
Yeah. That was a little too long, wasn't it? Okay.
But you guys might enjoy it. People might enjoy it.
Yeah, if you like the show, if you haven't seen it, it's really good.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Uvda.